My name's Rob Peterson, and my wife Nancy and I, with our family, have been members at Orchard Park almost 30 years. We joined Orchard Park soon after moving into the area in the early 1990s. Our children were raised in this church, and we now have grandchildren in this church as well. I've had the privilege of being in a couple different conversations that could be termed courageous. I think the first one was in the spring of 2019 when we had a book study group during Lent on the cross and the lynching tree, which talked about the thinking of theology as it related to Black experience in America. And more recently, I've been involved in another book discussion that's been on the color of compromise, that kind of takes the whole history of the Black experience in America and especially looks at it through the lens of the Christian community. You know, these conversations often aren't easy for us because we haven't talked a lot about these things until recently. And so I think it's important for us to have these conversations because we can all get in our own little box. We all have our particular set of experiences and perceptions, most of us from a standpoint of privilege in the world. And so we really need to work hard to understand other people's viewpoints and other people's experiences so that we can better relate to them and so that we can better help in improving the world. Conversations about race and religion for me are really critical for my life as a Christian because I think that slavery was the original sin in the United States, and I think as a society we are still paying the price for that original sin. I haven't had to pay that price a lot, but a lot of my fellow brothers and sisters have had to pay that price. And I think that that we have to try to work to understand other people's perspective so that we can join with them to improve the world. We're supposed to be about bringing God's kingdom to fruition here on earth. We can't really do that if we don't understand the perspective of other people who aren't like us, who haven't had the experiences or the advantages that we have. So I think it's really important for us to have these conversations ourselves, and then beyond that, to start having those conversations in the community and trying to figure out together, so what are we going to do about it? Because that's the important next question, is so what? You know, we had an opportunity a couple weeks ago to listen to a fellow talk about the state of the church today and the future of the church. And one of the points that he made was that, unfortunately, we're not necessarily going to be able to go back to the way we were pre-COVID. So we have to think about the way things are today and how we want to bring them forward into the future. I think one of the things that I've learned through the COVID experience is that we are not alone. We are connected in this to a broader community, and often in the past I think we've acted like we are alone and we are self-sufficient and we can do the things that we need to do and we don't really need to worry about anybody else. I think it's going to be important for us going forward to really form new partnerships, to look for new ways to do ministry, to sustain ourselves, and also to be part of whatever Christianity is turning into as we go forward.